What's up guys and welcome back to the Football Corner. So I don't want to waste time with long introductions. I just want to jump right in. What is wrong with Man United? So we're going to start at the very top. So because I believe the problems with Man United is the owners, is the board, is the coaching and the players. Okay, so the owners, what do they do wrong? I feel like the Glazers just focus on making Man United a big brand in other countries, in the US and in Africa, but they don't really put in effort in terms of just being present and making the club very good on the pitch. So that is one of the problems I have with them. And the second one is obviously as an owner you have to delegate people to run the club for you, but then they do so in a lazy fashion. I feel like they are very lazy with their appointments, because when you are not there at the day-to-day operations of the club, you have to put in someone who you trust, and I don't feel like the people they put in are the right people for the job. And which leads to the next point, is the board, the people who are put in by the Glazers. I don't think they are right for the job, because they don't really show me confidence that no, we know what we are doing, we are good at football or what. I feel like they just took people like bankers and they want to trust them with running a big club like Man United, and that's where everything goes wrong. Because now if you check, they had a very good coach in Mourinho, and then Mourinho was asking for signings, but then the board was like, no, we won't get you this type of player, let's get you this type of player instead. Because I believe Mourinho bought Lindelof, but if I'm not mistaken, he wanted someone else of a different profile, but then the board actually went in his way and got him someone else who he was not happy with. So I think the board needs to trust the manager and just let him do what he needs to do, like the vision, support the vision of the manager. That way the club can go forward. And the next point in my notes comes with the signings, because if I'm to give you an example of my club, Arsenal, in the past 2 or 3 transfer windows, we did not really buy big name players. So we went in and bought the right profile. So with Man United, the problem is they think big signings mean success on the pitch, which is not right. Because if you check, they bought Cristiano Ronaldo. Some people say he was a success. I don't believe he was a failure. He scored 18 goals in the Premier League last season, but at a very high cost. The dressing room is no more the same, and you just hear about problems within the training grounds and fights and too much power things. The next one is the support of youth, because I've been a football fan since 2002, and I used to watch Arsenal, Man United, and there were players like Gary Neville, who came from the youth academy, Paul Scholes, David Beckham. I'm not sure about Roy Keane. So they had a lot of, I think 6 players who went on to win the Champions League in 1999. That is something we don't see a lot with Man United. They don't really bring out the youth, because with youth players, the good thing about them is you are bringing them in for nothing. You don't have to splash money on signings that might flop. So I think Man United need to go back to those years where they trust the youth, and maybe also just put in a good structure for the youth academy, and training wise, everything has to be proper for the youth to come through, and that is something that the board has to do. Okay, now let's go down to the coaching, and I don't want to talk about old coaches. I just want to talk about the current coach, Ten Hag. The problem I have with him is he, before he came, he was saying that he wants to stamp his authority on the club. He wants to do things his own way, and I'm paraphrasing, by the way. Basically just saying that you do things my way or you are out. But now, if you look at it now, it feels like he's going with the norm of the old norm of let's say with Maguire being captain. If you are really a good manager who wants to take Man United to the top, you have to come in there and just look, what are the problems? How can we solve it? And Maguire being a captain is one thing the fans are not happy with. So if it was me, I'll go in there and just strip off the captaincy from Maguire and give it to someone like De Gea or something. Okay, so now let's move on to the last problem I have with Man United, which is the players. I'm not so sure if these players are good enough. Some, like Ronaldo, Bruno, De Gea, and maybe Van de Beek, yeah, okay, Sancho, good player, but still we didn't see anything in England. We didn't see what he can do. So I just feel like these players have too much ego with average ability. And I'm not taking shots at Man U fans or what. It's just something I analyzed. And I'll say it even for my own team. If there's something wrong, I'll say it. So you need players who want to work for the manager, and these are the same players who kind of like, they kicked out Mourinho, they kicked out Ole, and towards the end they were not playing for Rangnick. So why are you still at the club if you are not willing to put in 100%? And the problem is these players can't be sold because they are on high wages, and no club will want to go there and buy them and give them the same wage. So that's why they are stuck. That's why if you check people like Pogba, Mata, Matic, all these guys, where they kind of like ran down their contracts because nobody wanted to buy them. Now they are also stuck with Bailey, Jones, and people like Wan-Bissaka. No one wants to buy these players because of the high wages, and they are not putting in enough effort to... You have to play for the badge actually, but I don't think these players are playing for the badge. There's no hunger. When I look at Man United games, I don't see that hunger or passion. So you kind of have to get rid of the toxic players. And I hear a lot of stories in Man United that, no, the dressing room, what problems in the... And you know these things will occur because there's so many players there with big egos, but on the pitch they don't really perform. So those are the problems that I have with Man United, and I believe if they fix those problems, then they'll be back to the top. If the owners become more present in the running of the club and be more supportive, actually, not just financially, but also just actually financially, because you need to upgrade the training ground, to build more, to make the stadium better, because like basically just basic renovations for the stadium. And yeah, if you do that, the owners and then the board, they just need to run the club like a football club, not like a business. And then I think you'll see more success, and just understand how a club needs to be run and be supportive more towards the manager and the players. And for the manager, I think he needs to just stamp his authority, get rid of players who don't want to play for him, and kind of just You have to coach. You have to coach these players to play your way. And if they can't, you have to get rid of them. Bring players from the youth academy. Those guys are hungry to play. And these youth players are Man United fans actually. Because some of these players joined the academy when they were like 8. So they grew up on Man United. So when you put them on the pitch, they'll give you something. Passion, and just train those players to be good, and you'll have stars in the next 5 or 10 years. Okay, and the last problem is the players. Just sort out your attitude, stop with the ego and the fights in the training ground, and then I think that will take Man United back to the top. And as an Arsenal fan, I kind of don't want them to go to the top, but as a football fan, it's kind of sad to see such a big club in that mess. So yeah, that is it for the video, and thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, share, comment, tell me what you think of my opinion, and give me your opinion. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time.